So what exactly does it mean to be a high frequency person? Because you clicked on this video, you probably kind of have an idea of what that means, but not exactly. A high frequency person is someone who always has the confidence to go talk to that girl that they want to go talk to, who's the life of the party that they're at, who's always confident, who feels grateful throughout the day instead of being anxious all the time. And chances are you probably know someone like this. You probably have a friend who you would describe as that. And this is something that no matter how naturally introverted you are or how extroverted you are, you can achieve. And how do I know this? Well, because it's something that I've improved in my own life. In middle school and early high school, I was very to myself. I was very anxious. I'd go to a party and I'd have trouble like talking to people, or I'd see that girl that I want to go talk to and I'd always just be telling myself like negative things and having negative thoughts. But through making a few important lifestyle changes that we're going to talk about later in this video, I significantly improved this aspect of my life. And am I perfect? No, this is something that I still struggle with quite a bit every now and then, but when I do these practices, it helps me out so much. So to illustrate exactly what I'm talking about, we're going to think of these two separate guys. The first guy we're going to call Jimmy. Jimmy wakes up and first thing in the morning, he starts scrolling on TikTok. Then he goes and he turns on the news and he sees all the bad shit that's happening in the world. Then on his drive to school, he's listening to rap music about money, drugs, sex, and bitches. Then he gets to school, sits in the back of the class, rips his vape pen all day, and after school, instead of going to the gym or playing a sport or doing something that's going to improve his life, he just sits in his room and plays video games. The second guy we're going to call Alexander. Alexander wakes up and first thing in the morning, he reads a motivational self-improvement book. Then he goes to school and he says hi to all of his friends. He sits in the front of the class. After school, he goes to the gym and he sees that girl that he wants to go talk to. And guess what? He goes up to her, he talks to her, and now they're going on a date. Of these two guys, which one do you think is going to be happier and more fulfilled? You don't even need me to answer that. You already know the answer. So here are 3 lifestyle changes you need to make if you want to become a more high frequency person. Number 1, focus on your inputs. An idea that I've always loved is that your inputs equal your outputs. If you're always inputting bad things, well, of course your output's not going to be great. But if you're inputting good things, then your output is going to be great. So which do you think is going to be better for your mental health, your well-being, listening to rap music or listening to music that's positive and uplifting and that motivates you to be a better person? Of course, I know not all rap music is bad, but I'm talking about the music that's drugs, sex, money, you know what I'm talking about. And the truth is, a lot of us do inputs, a lot of us do things that are just all about self-sabotage, right? You scroll on social media and you see all this, bad news, all this, this person got shot, all this bad stuff is going on in the world. But when you're seeing all this negative stuff and all you're inputting is just bad media, it is going to negatively affect your mental health. Another thing that you should do is swap out playing video games and TikTok and Netflix every single day for some productive learning. Instead of playing video games for 3 hours every day, put that time into something that's productive. Learn more about weightlifting. Learn more about mental health. Learn more about tools that are going to actually improve your life and lead you to become a better person. Now, does this mean that you can never ever play video games or you can never watch Netflix? No, I'm not saying you can never ever do it. But a quote that I've always loved is that too much of a good thing can become a bad thing. And that's exactly how I would describe video games, right? Playing video games for a couple hours every single week, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. That could be a lot of fun. It could be something where, you're bonding with your friends and you're enjoying each other's company. But when you're playing video games for hours every single day, it's going to hold you back in your own life. It's going to stop you from making as much progress in the gym, in your self-improvement. So video games, you don't have to completely cut them off, but make sure these things aren't holding you back in your life. The next thing you should stop doing is stop paying attention to politics and the media. Something that I have chosen to do the last few years is just be selectively ignorant when it comes to politics and news. I never watch the news. I never read about politics. And some people might say what if something happens and you're missing out on it? But the thing is, if there's anything that's so important that happens, you're going to hear from other people about it. You're going to learn from it. So me, myself, I choose to be selectively ignorant. I choose to not pay attention to that stuff because it's all created to steal your attention. It's all created to be negative and not actually help you improve your life. So yeah, still, if something important is going on, yeah, you want to be aware of that, but you'll hear that from other people. You don't need to be watching the news and scrolling on TikTok every day. The second thing you must do if you want to become a more high frequency person is focus on building yourself up. Which version of yourself do you think is going to be more confident? The version of you who's not really doing what he needs to do, the version of you who's not committing himself to his goals, his purpose, or the version of you who's being productive, who's doing the right things? And I just said purpose, so what exactly do I mean by that? Well, your purpose is essentially what is important to you in your life. Every single young man should have some sort of purpose. And the way you figure out your purpose is what's my goal in life right now? What do I want to achieve? What do I want to make of myself? Maybe you watching this video, maybe you want to become really good at a sport. Maybe you want to get into a prestigious university. Maybe you want to get a great career. Maybe you want to be a doctor or a lawyer. Maybe you want to be a YouTuber. But whatever your purpose is, right? You figure out what you want to do and you start making more progress towards that every single day. Make that your main focus of your life. Instead of making the focus of your life playing video games, jerking off, watching porn, doing all these bad things, focus on building yourself up to become the person that you want to be. Because I think a lot of mental health problems stem from not being the person that somebody wants to be. Because it's easy to feel bad about yourself when you know you're not doing your goals, when you know you're not being the person you need to be. But it's very easy to have good mental health, be grateful, be that high frequency person when you're doing the right things, when you know that you're doing everything in your power to strive to become your best self. So the first step that you can take from that, if this is something that you're struggling with, is find your purpose. If you don't know what it is, maybe it'll take some time, but you'll have to go try out different things, right? Try out different hobbies, try out different things, figure out what you're really passionate about and start working towards that. Make progress and make leveling that up the focus of your life. Now, the third thing you have to do to become a high frequency person is focus on leveling it up, right? Social skills, going and talking to other people, like being more of a, happy person. You have to see it as a skill. Think about it like a video game, for example. If you start playing a video game, you're not going to be great at it at first. It's going to take time, right? You start playing the game on the easy difficulty, and then maybe you get a little better, and now you're playing on medium difficulty, and then you get better and you play on hard difficulty. So don't have the mentality that, okay, like I want to start approaching girls and I have to be perfect at it right away. That's not the reality. You don't have to be great at it right away. Don't have the expectation that, oh, like next time I, go to a social event, I have to be the most charismatic, person in the room, because you don't. This, just like everything else, is a skill. And you can't beat yourself up for not being good at something at first. Because imagine LeBron James, one of the best basketball players of all time. Imagine if he showed up to the basketball court for the first time ever, he missed a few shots, and then he quit because he just wasn't good. You would say, well, LeBron, that's really dumb. Why would you do that? So then why do you go approach a girl, get rejected, and then say, I just suck. I'm just not good at it. No, maybe there's not anything wrong with you. Maybe you just haven't leveled up the skill yet. Maybe you just haven't gotten better at it yet. So what do you take away from that? Well, just like everything, it's a skill. Everything in life is something that you have to improve, but you can also control that, right? But you have to be willing to put yourself out of your comfort zone. So be okay with approaching that girl and getting rejected, because even if it doesn't go well, you're getting better, you're leveling up. And if you're struggling with having friends, with having a social circle, go join a sports team, go join a club, go lift weights, go do something that's gonna allow you to meet like-minded men, because I believe that something we all need in life is we all need friends who have similar interests, who push us to be better people. That's one of the most important parts of being a high frequency person, is having good friends. But at the end of the day, if you want to improve yourself, you have to take action. You can't just watch all these videos and expect your life to just change all of a sudden. It doesn't work that way. You have to put in the work. You have to go to the gym. You have to go talk to that girl. You have to get out of your comfort zone, all right? That's the most important part of self-improvement. It's not learning. It's not watching all these videos. It's taking action, learning from your mistakes, and not viewing yourself as a failure, but viewing yourself as someone who is in progress, as someone who is leveling up. So if you found this video helped you, be sure to click the like and subscribe button, and also turn on the post notifications so you can see more videos like these. I'll see you for the next video, bro.